Well, what a few things, man. But I would say for the most part, I've always been interested in trying to figure out how can I help others, how can I serve. I feel like that's always been something that's very much organic to me, uh, true to my nature, being positive and uplifting other people.
Would you like to win and achieve success at what you do? Welcome to the Winner's Ways podcast, where we create winners every day. And now, your host, the author of Winner's Ways book and life coach, Bola Alabi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Winners Ways podcast. I'm your host, Bola Halabi. This is episode 27 of my podcast. And on the show, we have Robert Harper. He's a motivational speaker, a keynote speaker, an educator, a minister of God, and a man of purpose. He is also a public speaking coach. He has a strong passion about the subject of living on purpose, and he has been working tirelessly to ensure that he gets more people to connect to their purpose. According to him, if you are not serving someone, you are not living on purpose. And that is what he does. He thrives by serving others. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to have Robert Harper on the show with us today. And we are excited because we are going to be learning a lot from Robert, and we'll be talking about living on purpose. So, I'm so happy to have Robert Harper in the join us today on our Winners Ways podcast. Robert is all about motivation. He's an educator, a motivational speaker, a keynote speaker, a minister of God. Robert is passionate about purpose, and he has been helping many people to discover their purpose. So, to my audience, it's a great privilege to have Robert on the show today because we are going to be learning from him. We are going to listen to him. This young man is passionate, is full of energy, and I know that you guys will gain something at the end of today by listening to this podcast. So, hey, Robert, can you please
Yes.
introduce yourself to us, who you are, what you do, and what you've done, so that my audience will know more about you?
Sure, man. My name is Robert Harper II, man, and I am born and raised in Houston, Texas. I am a have the privilege of being able to speak to several people on different platforms. I'm a minister as well as a motivational speaker. I've been doing that for 10 years now, and so it's just like I said before, it's a privilege to be able to speak life into people and to be able to inspire them. You know, tell them that God has a plan for them. He has an assignment for them. He has a purpose that's greater than perhaps their situation they may be presently in. And so that's what I've been able to do for quite some time, and it's been a good journey, man. A really good journey.
Wow, I can't believe it. It's been 10 years. I know we met about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a discussion about purpose. I was motivated by uh, our meeting, speaking with you, learning from you. So, wow, I can't believe it's been 10 years. Wow, this is great.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
So, how did you start? What made you decide to start talking about purpose and start helping people on how to discover their purpose?
Well, what a few things, man, but I would say for the most part, I've always been interested in trying to figure out how can I help others, how can I serve. I feel like that's always been something that's very much organic to me, true to my nature, being positive and uplifting other people. And so when I was younger, that's just me, man. I tell people all the time, I'm so positive. That's my blood type. I'm B positive, man. So like I get a chance to do something I truly love to do, but really sparked it for me was when I got a chance to be at Lone Star College. At Lone Star College, it gave me an opportunity to be around other brothers that had similar interests, and we had similar goals and aspirations. And it was a group that I was a part of that was called Brother for Brother. And this group had a chance to host the very first male summit at Lone Star College. And there was a speaker that came out. He's a motivational speaker, and he did a phenomenal job. That was my first time actually seeing a motivational speaker, and I was just captivated by how he was moving the audience with his story and how he was giving this message of hope. And so from that point on, I just looked out. I just said to myself, hey, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I know that's what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. And God was doing a lot of shifting for me at that time in my life anyway. He was transitioning me into a different phase, a greater level of commitment to him and other things in my life. And so I just felt like that was just right on time for me. And so with being in the right environment, being around other people that could really cultivate that gift that I had inside of me was really key for me, man. And so I just had opportunities to hone in on my skills and my craft there at Lone Star College while being a part of that group. And it really gave me a platform to really just practice, man, and try to share this message of hope and inspiration to others. And as I continue to grow and develop myself. So that's where it kind of started, man. But that's where I pretty much was on this journey of becoming a motivational speaker, being a minister as well, man. I really had a spark for just a greater commitment to God. I had some friends that I grew up with, and he just he really started to raise his level of commitment and devotion. And to me, I was like, man, yeah, I was really impressed that at such a young age that he was doing that. He was teaching on campus at Howard University, and by his commitment and him being a big brother and having an influence on me, that really sparked a lot within me that I could make an impact too where I was at Lone Star. So I started doing Bible studies on campus, and I really started, just feeling a move to just be more committed in my faith, and so I just didn't want to pretend. That's one thing that just kept coming to me. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to live for God and do it. I don't want to pretend. I want to go all out, and that's what I was able to do, and so I just started doing Bible studies on campus, and it's been a blessing ever since, man. I did my first sermon when I was 19 years old. My dad helped me out with my first sermon, and I'm pretty sure it was a surprise to him and surprise to other people too. But I know because I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a preacher. I wanted to be a minister, and so all of this kind of came around at the same time, man. And so, yeah, Doc, that's how it all started.
Oh, wow. That is impressive, Robert. And when I look at life, this will buttress one of, and I was looking at your Facebook page some days ago where you posted something like, and that really touched me. You said, if you are not serving someone, then you are not living a life of purpose.
Yeah.
When you shared your story, when you talked about that man so many years ago, that's the motivational speaker that's impacted you or inspired you to start this journey. And I tell you, when you give a message, when you talk to people, there are going to be young boys, girls, young men today listening to you, and they also will be making this resolution that someday I would like to be like that man giving this speech. And this is great. And this is how we can all impact life. And I particularly like what you guys did at Lone Star College. You talked about brother for brother. And I think we need more of that in our community. And wow, you talked about Bible study. And I know that is something that is becoming kind of obsolete in our society. People don't talk about God. People don't talk about Bible in our educational institution these days. And thank you for doing this, and thanks to your team, because I know it's not just you people talking about God, preaching about Jesus. We all need this, and I think we seriously need to find more ways to connect with more people so that we can all connect our purpose and live as God has planned for us. So this is great,
Sure.
but thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes,
So,
man.
from talking with you, why do you think it's important for people to live on purpose?
Why is it important for people to live on purpose? That's a good question, man. It's important because it gives a person a sense of direction. It gives a person a sense of meaning for their life. Oftentimes people find themselves, uh, you know, uh, engaging in things that cannot really be beneficial uh, to the soul, to the spirit, and they find themselves unfulfilled, doing things that only bring temporary pleasure or temporary peace for that moment. And so when you find out what your purpose is, when you find out what your assignment is for life, it brings you a greater sense of meaning and direction. And so you're not wandering around trying to figure out, should I be here or should I do that? Or should I be going here? No, when I know my purpose, when I know what I'm supposed to be doing, it gives me a barometer to say, okay, no, my purpose doesn't line up with that activity. My purpose doesn't line up with that group, that environment, And so it
Yeah.
gives you a sense of meaning and purpose and direction. And that's what it does for one individually. But also the reason why it's so important is that, like you just mentioned before, is that we are here to serve others. And so while you living on purpose, you are encouraging and inspiring other people to live out their purpose. And so you're giving people hope. You're giving people hope for a better tomorrow. And so that's so critical. People need that. They need examples. They need for someone to be able to show them, for someone to look to and to say, hey, that's how to do it. And so that's critical. And so we want to live on purpose, not only for ourselves and the benefits that it brings, but also for others. Because like you said before, I was inspired by the man that went up and he was the motivational speaker at Lone Star College. Yes, I was inspired, but because of him, because of him, I got inspired. And now that I'm inspired, I'm able to inspire someone else. And that's really what it's all about, is being able to serve and to give back to other people. We have too many messages out there in our community right now that are glorifying other things, that are glorifying things that we shouldn't glorify, And so we need people, individuals that are committed to living on purpose, to serving in a positive and uplifting way, so that those messages can be the messages that are heard, that are seen, that people can start adopting.
Wow, that's totally true. So for me, I stepped up about 2 years ago. That I would say that was when I started my journey, and of course, I was able to publish one book, The Winner's Ways. Uh,
Yeah.
just to inspire people, because my life, in this life, we can all live for ourselves without serving others, without caring about the affairs of others. But God put it on my heart that I need to reach out and, of course, touch more lives and help people. And that was why I started my blog, my podcast, and my motivational speaking career as well. So, and, you get to meet people, people get to ask you questions. And some of the questions that I've heard is, oh, can anyone live a life of purpose? People, when they look at you, when they look at me, they will say, oh, this guy is doing these certain things. But as I do, that many people in our society today, it's all about rat race. You get up in the morning, you go to work, you pay your bills, and that's it. And I think that there's more to life than that. So now,
Sure.
question is, can anyone live a life of purpose?
Yes, they can. The reason why they can is because everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has an assignment on their life. I believe God created everyone with a purpose. There's something for us all to do. Now, the problem comes in is that we have distractions. We have distractions, and we
Absolutely.
have life that hits us sometimes and makes it difficult to actually live on purpose. And so we have to combat that. And so what I would tell anybody is that your destiny is far greater than any distraction that can come your way. And
Mm.
so understanding that I have an assignment, knowing that I have a destiny, knowing that I have a purpose, and that outweighs whatever distraction that might come our way. We get distracted with all kind of things, uh, things that come our way from within, distractions from within, and also distractions from without. And so we've got to just silence the noise and say to ourselves that this is why I'm here. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and be committed to that, and so that we can truly live a life on purpose. So to answer your question is yes, we can live on purpose. Anyone can live on purpose. The reason for that is because we all have a purpose, but the struggle comes in is being able to filter out and to get around all of those distractions and to overcome them. Overcome them. But we can do that when we understand that the destiny is far greater than any distraction that might come our way. I mean, if you just think about it, anytime we give into the distractions, they never fulfill us. They never give us a sense of fulfillment at all. But when we live on purpose, man, the joy that we have, that's really, we know in our hearts of hearts that that's truly living. And
Yeah.
so we've got to stay committed to that. And that's the struggle, right? Because we got distractions with our cell phones, distractions with our personal desires. We have distractions with, it can be good distractions, family, friends. But the thing is that we got to stay committed to those things that we know that we've been called to do. And so, but that's the key. That's the battle. So if anybody is out there trying to live on purpose, I would just encourage them that to fight through those distractions and know that their destiny is not only for them, but it's their destiny is going to help someone else fulfill their destiny as well. So yes, anyone can live on purpose, I would say.
Wow, awesome. You see, on my show, one of those things that I do is that I make this show impactful and I try to make it simple for my audience by giving them what I call to action. And
Yeah.
to you now, talking about anyone can live on purpose. And from this conversation, I understand three things. And please, you can add to it if maybe I did not capture everything. And for me, I want to tell my audience that everyone can live on purpose, but here are the 3 steps or 5 steps, or anyhow as the case may be. You need to do these 3 things to discover and live on purpose. And here are the points that I got from you. The first thing, you need to understand your destiny. Number 2, you need to avoid distractions. And number 3, you need to stay committed. Outside of this, do you have any other points that you would like to share with my listeners on how to live on purpose?
Yeah, I would share with them, get very clear on who they want to become. Be very clear on that, who they want to become. And the reason I say become and not have or do or any of those things, because those things can leave at a moment's notice. And so many people are persuaded, and they are moved in life based on what they have, based on what they do, based on the opinions of others. And so we can't settle, there, because God forbid something happens to me and I can no longer do. And as a result of no longer being able to do, I don't have. And if things can't get any worse, the people I love the most, because I don't have, they look at me differently, or their opinions of me change because I don't have those things anymore. And so my world is totally rocked because I can't do, I don't have, and the opinions of others have changed about me. And so those things are fickle. Those things can change at a moment's notice. So I would tell a person is that be very clear on who you want to become. What kind of individual do you want to become? Your character. Focus on that. What kind of life do you want to live? A life of integrity, a life of character, making sure that you are not just living a life that's of your public reputation, but more importantly, your private character is what's going to transcend you into the life that you truly desire. And so keeping that before you that, hey, who do I want to become as I go towards my purpose? If you don't know who you want to become, you can be persuaded and you can be taken off course and be distracted because you're not clear on that. You can sacrifice you can sacrifice or compromise your own integrity, your values, simply because you don't have a vision of who you want to become and who you really are. And so I would tell people to get very, very clear on that, because there's certain things that are not worth compromising, right? Because you can say to yourself, hey, I want to have this, right? But am I willing to do this? Am I willing to lie? Am I willing to manipulate? Am I willing to cheat? And if you're willing to do those things just so you can have these great things in your life, then that's not a life of purpose. That's not a life of living on assignment. And so when you know who you are and who you want to become, there are certain things you're just not willing to compromise and you're not willing to give up. So I would tell a person, get very, very clear on who you want to become, the kind of individual you want to be, not just in public, but as well in private,
Wow, that is golden. There's a difference between what you want to do and who you want to become. And you are telling us to focus on who you want to become, and we should watch out for not only our public character or public display, we should also be concerned about our private character. Because, of course, it's easy to deceive people in public, while in private, we become a different individual. Oh, that is good. I like that. Robert, I know life can be fun and should be fun. We want to know you on a personal note. I know you go to schools, high schools, you talk to their sports team. I've seen you mentoring basketball team, giving speeches to them. So and you work hard to do all these things, but what do you do for fun?
Yeah, man. So living on purpose is fun too. It's fun. So you want to have some fun, man, while you at it. But I enjoy life, period, man. I really do. I really I like to be around people who enjoy life. I like to be around people who have just good company. And for me, man, I love sports. I love watching sports. I love playing sports. I love working out. Man, fun for me is game night with friends and family. It's bowling. It's it's live music. These things I enjoy, and I think we have to be able to do that. Do some things that they give you a sense of balance in life, man. That to continue to laugh at life. I remember something my aunt told me years ago. I will never forget, man. And I was on the phone with her and I was laughing, and she said, "Man, I love your laugh, Robert. I love your laugh." And she said, "Don't ever stop laughing. Don't stop laughing. Don't miss the joy out of life." And sometimes life has a way of stealing that from us and robbing us of that joy, just life itself, heartache, pain, trouble, we began to be more pessimistic, about life. And we have to fight for that. We got to have courage to fight for the good inside of you, for that lightheartedness inside of you, man. So I firmly believe you got to have a balance, man. You got to be able to surround yourself with positive people that love to laugh, enjoy life, go to a basketball game, have a good time. all of that is essential to having a well balanced and purposeful life, man.
Wow, so good. Talking about laughing and talking about having fun.
Yeah.
After this interview, I'm going out. I'm going to play soccer. And
Okay.
yeah, that's why they say laugh out loud. I like that. Let's laugh. Let more people have fun. Uh,
Yeah.
of course, I also know that we are not perfect. We are also trying to be a better man or man every day. So for me, to the listeners, one of the things that I do is to teach them to learn from other people. So I'm going to ask you this, and I hope you have, because no one is perfect. What are some mistakes that you've made in the past, and what lessons did you learn from them? Maybe somebody too may be in that position today, so that they can learn from you and they can know how to avoid such mistakes.
Some of the mistakes I've made in the past, man, have simply just been learning to truly listen to understand rather than listening to respond.
Mm.
That's a battle I have probably every day that I'm growing in, right? Uh, that we have to learn how to really listen to people, man, and make people valuable. And even if you don't necessarily agree with everything they're saying, and sometimes you don't even have everything doesn't deserve a response, a reaction. You can listen to, because most people, they really just want to be understood, they want to be heard. But if you're the guy that always has an answer for something, if you're the guy that always wants to fix something, if you're the guy that always has an opinion about something, I've learned that people don't always want to be around you, man. People don't always want to be around that guy. Sometimes they just want to have a person that's willing to listen, willing to understand, willing to sympathize, and to have a sense of compassion towards another human being. And I think that's important, getting out of our own way and being less judgmental and more understanding of other individuals is so crucial as we try to, man, I have found, beneficial for my life, man, is that someone said that you have two ears and one mouth. So that means
Yeah,
you need to do more listening than you need to do than talking, right? So
that's right.
that, yeah, man, just really making people will feel valued that way. I remember uncle, he's passed away now, but he was in his 90s, man,
Wow.
and every time we would have a conversation, he would make me feel so valued, not to the point to where I knew he was getting ready to say something, or he was getting ready to cut me off or say, I mean, he just listened, and he made me feel as if I was the only person that mattered at that present moment. At that present moment, nothing else mattered. Not his phone, not his another person, not another individual. And he just was really listening and cared about the things that I cared about. And I thought, I was so impressed with that, man, before his passing. I said, man, that's something I want to carry over into my life. And so I haven't always been great at that, and it takes energy to really uh, be present, to be in the moment, and to value another individual in that space without you inserting your thoughts or ideas or opinions and things of that nature. And so, yeah, man, that's one thing I would say, that doing more listening than talking.
So true, Robert. We have two ears and one mouth, so we should all listen more. So, to you guys, my audience, please, let's listen. Let's care about people. Let's show concern. Yes, you have
Yes.
to respond, but please first listen. So, Robert, we appreciate your time for today. We have come to the end of this episode. We have learned so much from you. Thank you for sparing the time to appear on this show. I just want,
Yeah.
for the last one, how can my audience, how can they connect with you? How can they find you? how can they know more about what you do? Where do they need to go? Can you please share that with us?
For sure, man. You can reach me on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. On Facebook is Robert Harper. On Instagram is Robert Harper 2, and that's the number 2. So they can reach me on there, on Instagram, on Twitter, Robert Ian Harper on Twitter. My email is robert.ian.harper at gmail.com. They can also reach me on my website. My website is www.robertharper2, the number 2.com. So that's www.robertharper2.com, and you can contact me there as well. And yeah, man, would love to hear from your listeners, man. I pray and hope that our dialogue here, man, this conversation was very beneficial and fruitful, inspiring for those that are listening on today.
All right. Thank you very much. And that's the end of today's show. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you, brother, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right. And that's it. It's a wrap, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two from Robert today. We all need to connect to our purpose because God created all of us for a purpose on this earth. You need to connect to that purpose. You need to find that purpose. Make it your mission to find your purpose so that at the end, you'll live a fulfilled and a purposeful life. See you again next week. Till then, keep winning. Bye.